All right, this is Craig LeBlanc, the doorman with the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. I'm really trying to just hit that 11. Well, I'm in Central, but 12 noon Eastern. It's crazy how hard it is to start a new habit, even though I'm like 2 months into this. Not sure if anybody else. But anyway, I have an awesome show for y'all today. I don't have a guest, and I'm so glad. I actually asked that I not be scheduled for this day, but for different reasons. And the reason I have an awesome show is because I finally get to recap all these interviews. And I had a crazy good interview with a guy named Matthew Elliman. I may be pronouncing your last name wrong, Matthew, but he spent an entire career, now is retired and semi works for another consulting firm, little IT company. So we're going to have him on the show because he lived an awesome career. And as we were talking, this is a man reflecting on hindsight. Sorry, my computer decides to just fall on me. Okay, hold on. Just wanted everyone to know that this is a live show with things like this. This is no AI generated show. This is human fumbling around. Here we go. Okay, so it's funny how when you reach at a certain age, and sorry, this most people might be embarrassed by this, but not me. I am used to the chaos of live. Okay, let's see if that works. We good? We good. So most people, um, when you get to the end of a career, when you get to the end of your life, you get, like your 50s, 60s, you have such clarity because you have, what they say, hindsight's 2020. And so when you have someone like Matthew that is reflecting back on a career of what was my purpose? What is my life about? What am I going to do towards the end? Okay, what is my life going to um, be about? What kind of legacy do I want to leave? And so this is the kind of person I'm talking to. And so he talked about something, an older part of Parks and Rec called the benefits movement. And we're going to talk a lot about that when he gets on there. I told him, I said, there's no way we're going to be able to keep your show to 1 hour. Let's just do like a 3 or 4 part series. And he's like the third or fourth person I've run across like that they just have such a wealth of knowledge. Actually, before I get into the benefits movement, what do you do? So you're a Parks and Rec director. How do you answer this? What do you do? I'm a Parks and Rec director. And instantly you get an image, right? Maybe they're just sitting in an office, making sure the basketball game goes okay, and then they just draw a paycheck. They're, lazy city worker kind of stuff. Let me tell you, couldn't be further from the truth. And I'm noticing, and Matthew highlighted this for me. He said, Parks and Rec people are kind of embarrassed. He said, but what if we said this? What if we said, I run a multi-million dollar agency that has multi-million dollar facilities that care for the health and well-being of the community I live in? Wow, what a reframing. Is that a lie? Do you not run a multi-million dollar agency? Do you not sit on top of millions of dollars of land and playgrounds and sports equipment and gyms and Olympic-sized swimming pool and put on, $100,000 festivals and $1 million events and um, weekend festivals and weekends of just um, travel ball or tournaments that come, and you're orchestrating all of this. You're orchestrating many times 50, 100, 150 high school and camp workers and lifeguards and concession stands and people. Imagine you're like the party thrower of the city. Have you ever organized just a wedding and how much goes into that? Now imagine your full-time job is to invite the community to 10 to 15 different facilities that you're running. And some of them are made for swimming pools. Some are just beautiful trees and parks and walkways. Others have $1 million playgrounds and $1 million splash pads and athletic facilities that are 10, 15, $20 million and take 10 years to build. And this is what a park and rec director does. But that's not the image that the world sees. And I think if we can just get better at the messaging of what a park system does and how it makes our communities so much more livable, the quality of life. I mean, think about when people go for a walk, or say, "Hey, you wanna go take the kids to the park," or, "Pack up, kids, we're going to practice at the baseball field because, we've got 3, 4 days a week practice," or you're lacing up, everybody grab their shoes. You've got fathers and sons getting connection. You've got young kids getting formed. You've got after school care programs that I could literally talk for 3 hours and never repeat myself about the things that a park director and the park, professionals orchestrate. It's literally like an orchestra that just never ending. And you've got all the personalities and all the different cultures within your jurisdiction, within the land that you're in charge of. And every square inch of land has a park person in charge of some portion of it, whether it's a parish or, sorry, Louisiana, a county, or whether it's a city. And for 100 years, for more than 100 years in a lot of places, benefactors have been dying and leaving money and land to the park systems. And so here you are, you're like the sixth park and rec director of some said city in America, and this heiress to millions of dollars buys this piece of land and gives you $2 million and say, I want you to develop this park, and please do it before I die because I want to push my grandchildren on a swing. And so you're trying to develop this in time for her, final wish and dream to come true. You've got companies and local businesses that are pulling together to put on a farmer's market at a downtown location that's been revitalized, and now it's a weekly part of how the community comes together with farmers and different vendors, and it's like a community event where it's almost like a little family reunion. And to see how these communities are orchestrated and people feel called to this, they're called park and rec professionals, and the directors are like the maestro orchestrating the whole thing constantly nonstop, and they work all the time. I'm not saying it's not fulfilling. If anything, the fulfillment I am seeing in their heart, in their words, in their eyes, these people feel a sense of accomplishment, and they feel a sense of pride that their life and their life's energy that they are pouring into their career, it's not all about the money. They do get paid, and they I don't want to say they're not the highest, but they're not selling their soul for their paycheck because they get so much more. They're growing as leaders because a park and rec director, especially assistant directors, the leadership are asked to do things that you're like, how does that fall onto my lap? You know, the graveyards, the farmers market, the endless festivals, you would think athletics, programming, a park. Okay, those fall under the Parks and Rec. But pretty much anything the city decides, it's not the police, it's not the fire chief, it's not the mayor's office, it's not utilities. Give it to the park. They're the catch-all for the entire city because they've got the staff, they've got the grass cutters, and so they just end up inheriting all this. And the leadership that that is formed inside of a park and rec director because they just have to be able to handle whatever's thrown at them and figure it out with whatever limited resources they have. So many times the city manager is just like, "Hey, I got a new thing for you." Boom, there you go. And you didn't get any extra funding and you didn't get any extra staff. You just got to figure it out. And that's what parks and rec directors are so good at out of necessity. They figure things out for a living with the resources they have. And they do a masterful job at it. And I can't get over how relaxed they are. They just seem like, I don't know if y'all remember that movie. This is what a park and rec director reminds me of. I'm gonna frame it for you. You remember that movie We Were Soldiers, the Mel Gibson movie, where I think they're attacking this big Viet Cong hill, and there's this reporter and this cameraman, and his grandfather and great grandfather and father fought in all kind of wars, and so he wanted to give honor to that legacy, but he didn't want to kill people. So he said, at least I can just take a try to capture it all, tell the story. Here I am telling the story of Parks and Rec. And he is just shell shocked by all the carnage and bullets and bombs going off the whole time. And then, you see him going through the whole movie trying to just capture the pain and suffering that war is. And so anyway, towards the end, big grand finale, Mel Gibson and all his soldiers, and they kind of win the day. And finally, the reporters from that won't go into war torn areas, they land in this big old helicopter, and they run to him because he's like one of them. He's a cameraman, he's a photographer, he's an artist, and so are they. And they're here to get the story, what happened. And these bombs just like go off in the background, um, and the reporters just like hit the floor, and he's just unfazed. He's just like, yeah, that's nothing. They're just clearing some areas down or something. But um, that's what Parks and Rec directors remind me of. They're so used to the chaos. They're so used to just handling it. I think most people, when they are assigned a project that with no funding, no extra people, I've never done this before, they just kind of lose it a little bit because they have no security, they have no safety, it's not clear, it's all disrupted. Parks and Rec people, they're just like, that's this is what I do 3 times before lunch every day. There's always something. And there's always some elderly person that wants the fence painted just a certain way and it's a little crooked. And then there's always a dad and a coach or something that needs to start this. And then there's always people with ideas, right? How many people do have these ideas? And this is not tiny assets. Again, I run a multi-million dollar agency that has multi-million dollar facilities that care for the health and well-being and quality of life, bringing that into my town, my hometown, my community. And I get to work with people that love athletics and teaching swimming and molding and giving lifelong experiences to children in sports and camping. And I get to um, spend the city's money on beautifying the city through landscape architecture, and I get to see people. Um, what are the benefits they're having in these parks? You know what they said? Something I don't know the stat. It's something like if you walk a mile, it extends your life by 20 minutes. And so parks pull you outside, especially in such a digital age where we're so dialed into computers nonstop. Um, Getting people outside among nature is just uplifting. It's freeing. It's good for their health. It's good for their soul. It's good for the tension that's bound up in them. And the park people get to create these spaces. Imagine that is your job. You point your energy and imagination at a piece of land that might have some old trees and say, how can we make this place most enjoyable? And we're considering children and parents and siblings and grandparents playing. What can we do for them? And we've got people showing up with their tennis rackets and their pickleball rackets and their baseball gloves. And where are they going to go? And then we have people that want to walk through nature and trails and around lakes, and how do we incorporate that into this facility? And we've got a big open field for maybe an annual fair or a festival a couple times or a big Fourth of July celebration. Where's that going to happen? And this is what you get to plan, and you get to put all your creativity and the creativity of your whole staff. And then you have people that are dedicating their life to helping you. So you'll have like 15, 20, 30, 50, sometimes hundreds of professionals that this is what they want to contribute their life to. This is where they want to pour their life's energy. This is Parks and Rec. This is their story. I'm loving it. And talking with Matthew was such a breath of fresh air to see someone at the end of his life that was, I say at the end of his life, like I'm kicking him in the grave. He's not that old, but he's just retired and he still contributes to Park and Rec. And he loves the show, loves what we're doing, is all about telling the story. And I want to help him tell his story of Parks and Rec because it really is the story of all Parks and Rec people. And just because you're not answering the question of what do you do with, I run a multi-million dollar agency that has multi-million dollar facilities that care for the health and well-being of my community. Just because that's not your answer doesn't mean that that's not true. It is true. That is what you're doing. That is who you are. That's who you've dedicated your life to. And there's a reason why you're going to stay there for another 10, 20, 30 years. You're going to retire just like Matthew there because you can't imagine working for only a paycheck. You want to work for a paycheck, you get treated like a paycheck. You want to work for the bottom line, you get treated like the bottom line. And Parks and Rec people are not that I don't want to say they're not that shallow. I'll just throw that out there. They want more from their work. They want more from their work. I mean, all Parks and Rec people get crazy good benefits. They're municipal government, so they get good benefits. They get decent pay, but look what else they get. They get to make a difference in their community. They get to bring life and nature into where we live. Okay. They get to be in charge of how many children's first home run, first pop fly, first catch, first 3-point shooter, first, grandparents pushing kids. They're in charge of that. They're in charge of orchestrating all that for the community. And it brings such fulfillment and purpose in life. And they get to work in their where they live, in their hometown, all across America. And to me, that's such a noble thing to say, I'm not going to dedicate my hours and my soul to something that just is not bringing meaning to me and the people around me. They walk around with such a sense of pride with what they do. And they're not soft, cushiony people. They take chaos and roll with it and make a park system out of it and make a recreation facilities just operate, and they don't burn to the ground. They keep them running, and then they revitalize a 50-year-old facility, breathing life back into it. This is what they get to do all the time. Making me question myself as an entrepreneur that maybe I should have been a Parks and Rec director of somebody that's working with me, that's networking with these people. She's always telling me, I think I should go work in Parks and Rec. And I don't think you can work with Parks and Rec people in the community and get exposure to what they're doing and not get excited and want to just do it yourself. And you're questioning, you're looking at all your physical possessions around you, and you're like, did I really just work my tail off for 20 years just for a few extra things around me? What did I build? I see Parks and Rec people and Parks and Rec directors walking around the parks that their grandfathers built with such pride that they get to take the torch and make it even better, or add that next thing, or develop that next 60-acre plot of land. And some of these, like I was talking to, let me see. Okay, no, I think I was Nate. No, Matthew. Come on, Nick Smith in Newaygo County Park. Yeah, cost recovery master. He recovers 110% of the cost, which means he gets zero tax money. Talk about a master there. Y'all all need to watch that episode. Episode number 64 with Nick Smith. If you want to know how to recover cost, learn it from somebody who gets that much tax revenue. None. He's got to kill. He's got to eat, and everything he eats, he's got to kill. And so framing it that way. Anyway, he built a multi-million-dollar trail around his. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, I think it's Nick. I hope it's Nick. Anyway, one of the guys. I'm almost certain it was Nick because he's the one that's leaving, going to a new place. Yes, that's right. A 45-mile trail that took 6 years to build. And they have, it was only fully open last year for like half the year, and 100,000 people have come on it. It's a major tourist destination. And he's making this trail where people are coming from all around to use something that he's poured his life into for 6 years, and is going to be there for probably another 50 years. I mean, he leaves this community after being there since 2016 with such a sense of pride of what I built. And I know women have their own thing, but men love to build things, and so do women. But I mean, men like to just build stuff. Speaking as a man, I love to build stuff. I noticed that the women love to nurture and care and watch kids just grow and stuff. And there's a mix of all that going on. But when I see that he's leaving I remember when he said, I am leaving this park system in such good condition. I built it up. I built up the staff. I took us from 500,000 of revenue to $1 million of revenue. We make an extra 100,000 every year that we pour back into the park system. And he's just like, look at the job I did for the last 6, 7, 8 years. I think he was there. Um, and this is what parks people do. They leave things better than they found it. They take this old, struggling park system that's maybe operating in like it's 20, 30 years ago, and they lift it back up. They develop it. They put new playground equipment. They put new sports complexes. They refurbish the swimming pool. They take on that farmers market project. They open it up to the digital age by having a social media platform that communicates all this out to the people. So anyway, this is what I've learned in the last what 80, 90 days on episode number 67, 68. Let's see, what are we on? Episode number 68. So I am still going to Texas. I promise. I am leaving. I'm trying to get out of here so bad. I just had so much stuff thrown at me this last few hours, 24 hours. So I will be traveling to Traps. I've got so many people to interview there. So if you're there and you see me, please just tackle me and, say hello. Let me know what we can do better. I love meeting y'all, hearing y'all stories, telling y'all stories. I want to thank Camille and Kathleen and Chris, our digital artists that are working so hard in the background to build out our social media platforms and get they get this message amplified, get this megaphone built, get this media company up and running so we can let the world know what Parks and Rec are doing. This is our mission. We're on it. We're going to stay on it. 12 noon every day, weekdays, not every day. And we're going to try to go to as many of these association things as possible. It's amazing where this world is pulling the 4, 5, 6 of us that are working on the daily Parks and Rec show. We started out, let's do a podcast. Let's just try to give people a platform. We had no idea that we were going to unearth these diamonds all over the country that are working. Another great one, I've bragged about her so much, Gabby Vera over in Arizona. Her story is amazing. We've had several others on the show, but anyway, listen to those. Gabby was, let's see, which one was Gabby? She was episode 61. 61, Gabby Vera. She does a great one. It's such a heartfelt story, and maybe I'll close with her. Love you, Gabby. You keep going. You need to meet that girl. If you want an after school program, get her insight on it. Get her input. At least watch video number 61, episode 61 on the YouTube channel. She she was raised there. She was like Briar Rabbit that was born in the briar patch. People are like, "Oh, I discovered Parks and Rec." Gabby's like, "No, I was born here. This is my home. This is where I became. This is where I was a child. This is where I was a young adult. This is where I'm going to spend the rest of my life." And it's because after school care was my family, my friends from sixth grade on. And she was one of those little kids that looked up at the director and said, "I'm going to have your job one day." And she did, and she does. And she's such a passionate leader. She's got such a big heart. And the after school shocker program that she runs is amazing because she's pulling back from a depth that goes back to a childhood experience. And she sees little Gabbies in her program, and she is not going to fail them because it gave so much to her. And to see somebody leading with that much passion on the front line, she's like a Braveheart. That's just, you know, if anything happens to her program, it's coming through her, and she'll be dead on the ground before it gets to her programs and her park systems. And so, man, when you see leadership like that, it's and you and they're all over Parks and Rec. People like her are they're we should lift them up. We should be proud of them. And I would love for them to say, not only do I run a multi-million dollar agency with multi-million dollar assets that improve the lives of my community, but I protect those little kids that are under my care after school, and I give them a home and a good place to become young adults during the summer, and they're gonna be so happy and so well protected and so well nurtured under Gabby's umbrella. And that's the kind of people that are over Parks and Recreation. That needs to be our response. I encourage everyone in Parks and Rec, define yourself like that. Tell people what you do. Show them the value you bring to their community. You would not want to live in some sterile dystopian world without parks, with just like a street to the interstate. That's not where we want to live. Humans want to give to the common space and live in the common spaces so we can walk out of our home and into a beautiful city. And this is what you're in charge of. This is what you do for your community. It's something to be proud of. It's something to brag about. Don't you ever lay your head down. Don't you ever put your head down in shame that you're just something on a sitcom like Parks and Rec. It's not a joke. It's fulfilling and it's beautiful to watch. And it's great to watch unfold in front of me. And I'm so proud to be able to tell this story of what Parks and Rec is. So I hope we're bringing value to y'all. Y'all are bringing value to me. So I'm going to keep doing this as long as I'm breathing because I love it. I love these people, and they're starting to become dear friends of mine. And if I can do anything to help y'all tell your story and get out to the world and encourage young people out there to consider Parks and Recreation as a career path because you're going to love it. I'm watching people love it, and a true sign is they're not going anywhere else. They come into Parks and Rec, they retire, they finish one job for 20 years, they go take another job for 20 years. That is a sign that they are being fulfilled. If they didn't like it, they would be leaving to other industries. And I noticed some of the best and brightest Parks and Rec people, they apply for a director position, and wherever one opens up on the other side of the country, I'll take it. I want to lead in that arena. I want to build a park system, and I don't care if I've got to move clear across the country to a place I've never been. I just want the opportunity to serve my community, and they do it. And we get them on the show, and they tell us about it. So tune in every day, 12 noon Eastern. I'm Craig LeBlanc with the Daily Parks and Rec Show. I'm going to close with a way that you can support this channel, which I need. I need help. I need help playing for all these awesome designers and artists. And I've got like 5 other artists that want to come work for us, but I've just like, okay, guys, I can't, I'm not Daddy Warbucks here. So let me see if I can get some of the parks people to pitch in. How can you pitch in? Okay, you can hire us to help run your social media. That's what we have on staff. We're building out a social media platform on all of them, on X, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on YouTube. If you have a special event, we can make a commercial for your special event, your fair, and we'll take the money you give us for that. We'll pay for that person, make the special event, and the money left over, guess where we're pouring it? Into this media company for Parks and Rec. This is y'all's media network. Okay. It's only going to talk about that stuff. And because we want to stay focused and persistence, consistency, that's what creates mastery, and that's what creates depth. And that's where we get a good program, and we get a good product in the Daily Parks and Rec Show. So by hiring us, and I set the price and said, look, if you want somebody that's a professional social media manager that has all the latest AI tools to help distribute your content, to help raise awareness and build community on your social media Facebook page or Instagram page, you can hire one of our very talented digital artists for $299 a month, and they'll spend 10 hours every week. And that's typically plenty enough for a park system to just get started in getting the word out and building an online community. If you want us to make a video, I came up with a cost of, and again, I'm just figuring this out as we go. Not their side of it. They're masterfully professionals at what they do, but I'm like, what do I charge for this? What is it worth? And I want to make it affordable for cities. I don't want to be like some big upfront costs. I just want to be like a small little bill that they can pay to get a professional to come assist you grow your social media presence. $299 a month, and then $99 a month for unlimited video content creations for any festival, your park, any product you have, any grand opening you have. They can make you a video every couple of weeks, and you just use them as you need them. And so those two combined together, sometimes you have to create a digital asset for a festival and you want to go capture some things, put it together for a little 1 minute promo, and then you use that throughout the year to post across all your social media on your website to get the word out so you can get really good attendance on all these events that y'all work so hard to put on. We would hate for them to fall at the finish line and have no one attend. And so this is the talent we have in-house to build the Daily Parks and Rec show. And so this way we don't have to kind of retool. We're already geared up for that. So if you hire us at $299 a month or $100 a month, let me go ahead and play a little commercial that they made. And this is a sample of what you can do. I'll play, I'll play Chris's. He does a good job. Hold on one second. So this is our commercial for the social media manager. Work with us. Here we go.
Good day, Parks and Rec fans. Welcome to the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
Across the country, parks and recreation departments work hard to build thriving community spaces. But what if no one knows about them? Without the right promotion in this digital age, incredible parks, programs, and events go unnoticed. And that means missed opportunities for families, communities, and local businesses. That's where the Daily Parks and Recreation Show team comes in. We specialize in high-quality promotional videos tailored to promote your local park and recreation areas. Expert social media management to boost online presence and engagements, and tailored marketing strategies for promoting events designed specifically for parks and rec departments. We don't just create videos, we tell stories. Stories that inspire, engage, and bring communities together. By working with us, your department doesn't just get professional social media marketing support. You become part of a bigger movement, showcasing the vital role of Parks and Rec across the nation.
Experience is critical to improving. It's just don't quit, don't give up, keep pushing. Especially in these park systems, park directors are constantly bombarded with things that they need to overcome and achieve with limited resources, limited staff. And perseverance is definitely in the job description of anyone in Parks and Rec. So like Julie Angie said, perseverance is failing 19 times and succeeding the 20th.
Boost your visibility, engage your community, amplify your impact. Let's make Parks and Rec the heartbeat of every city. Message us today and let's start telling your story.
Great job, Chris. So if you would like us to make a couple-minute explainer video about a festival you have coming up, about a farmer's market that you'd like to promote constantly, you can get this out across the web. This is something we can do for you. Please hire us for $99 a month and we'll have a video editor at your disposal. And there's no like payroll and taxes and what else am I going to get you to do and how all this hiring and stuff. It's just, $99 a month. It's just a bill you pay. And now you have access to a human that knows how to operate CapCut and ChatGPT and all this AI software and how to, crop all these videos and coming in and then they can give you a video and you say, well, I like that. Let's do a second edit, a third edit, and then boom, it's perfect. And then you're like, done. There you go. Your asset. Take off with you to what's your next project. So that's one way. Now, what's the other way you can help me? Y'all know if you don't know, I used to own a manufacturing facility that manufactured LED lights of all sorts. That is my major seller. This one, there's Fro, and there's the light. Boom. So even though I made tennis court lights, I made canopy lights, I made all this kind of stuff. It was just, before I kind of semi-retired, I made that thing. But that light right there was the one that replaced this one. Like my thumb's not working. That's the one that was probably 80% of the revenue. So all the other lights put together, we had solar lights for walking trails. We had tennis court lights that were, supported by all the tennis people. We had all different sizes of sports arena lights, canopy lights, wall packs, UFOs. But that one was 80% of our revenue. So after I got out of that, And now I'm starting to think about how can I fund this. I'm like, how about I just make this my Girl Scout cookie? And I'm like, buy these cookies so I can get these kids on the camp out. So buy this light. It's $850. It's a direct replacement of anything you have. So you can put it on a parking lot. You don't need all LED lights. If you've got 8 lights out on a field, buy 8, give them to your electrician, give them to your staff. Hey, go take those 8 down, put these 8 up. You do that 2 or 3 times, boom, you're done. If you want to control this thing on your cell phone, I work with a great company that can sell you a little $1,000 box, and you can turn these things off and on from bed, on a Sunday night when somebody leaves them on, or you can program it, so really simple and easy at $850 a piece. If you've got 10 of them, it's $8,500. If you've got 100 of them, it's 85,000. So go try to replace 100 LED lights across them for 85 grand. Usually you're getting like $500,000 bill. So it's super budget friendly. This thing is a workhorse. It's got mean-well drivers and Cree chips. It's got stainless fasteners, rubber grommets, so we keep water intrusion out. It's got the most advanced cooling system I have ever designed and gotten on. It's patented. It just keeps this fixture cool as a cucumber, which gives it well over 100,000 hour lifespan. Okay, there's only 6,000 whatever hours in a year. So if you left this thing on and never turned it off, okay, in 10 years, you're at 67,000 hours. Okay, that's if you just turn it on, left it on 24/7. Okay, so it's going to last 10 years. That's the factory warranty if you turn it on and never turn it off. So if you design these lights correctly, they never go out. And that's why my warranty for these things was, if it goes out, I'm sending you a new one. That's the warranty. You're a city, you're a big client of ours. We're not going to fight you over one of our fixtures that had a factory defect. It's a mean-well driver. Those things don't fail. If they do, something's wrong, or they got struck by lightning or something. So if they're giving you trouble, it's my problem, not your problem. And we've worked with superintendents, and City of Dallas is our biggest client. They've bought thousands of these and put them all over their mega park system, along with hundreds of other cities that have used them. This is a maintenance budget. Replace them as they go. This is not something you involve lighting engineers and architects and all kind of big mega plans and things that just jack the price up. This is, I got 3 lights out, send me 3. That's the niche that we're going to use to fund the daily Parks and Rec show. And again, all of the profit that comes out of that thing, we just pay the cost to produce it. Everything else comes back into, let's just expand the daily Parks and Rec show. Let's get this thing rolling. Let's build this megaphone for Parks and Recreation. Let's tell the message of what's going on here. Let's get more directors like Gabby and Matthew up here to say, here's the opportunity to these high school kids. Choose this career because it's fulfilling. Don't strap yourself to something just for a paycheck that leaves you left feeling empty at the end of 20 years, wondering, what did you just dedicate your life to? Join Parks and Recreation as a career. Get involved. At least go volunteer as a coach. Okay, and you can do summer internships with this industry, and attend some of these state conventions. Anyway, I could go on and on. I got to wrap it up here because I got to get. So I'm going to close it out with Chris's LED light commercial, which is another fancy one. Actually, wait, I'm going to play 2. One is going to be something we made for the industry, which is choose this as a career. Okay. Let's go with Trixie. She did a great job. She made 1:07 to promote Parks and Recreation as a career path. If you're a director and you have high schoolers in front of you during orientation, please play this for them so that you can plant some seeds, and then maybe give a little testimony about the fulfillment you get out of Parks and Recreation. Here we go.
Welcome to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Today, we'll discuss how Parks and Recreation improve the well-being of our communities. These spaces promote healthy living, foster connections, and support local economies. Parks encourage active lifestyles by offering areas for walking, running, and cycling, while also improving mental health by reducing stress and boosting mood. They also strengthen communities by providing gathering spaces for local events, social interactions, and recreational programs. Economically, parks contribute over $140 billion annually. They support businesses, create jobs, and even raise property values, benefiting both the community and local economy. Parks are accessible to everyone, with inclusive programs for all ages and abilities, ensuring everyone can enjoy these spaces. You can help support parks by volunteering, donating, or simply visiting. Every action ensures parks thrive for future generations. Thank you for watching the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Follow us for more insights on how parks enhance our communities.
Trixie, awesome job. She is such a talented digital artist. She made that video. Please hire her to make something like that for your park system. She does a great job, along with Aria and Chris and Hannah, and we've got several others that are on here as well. I just don't have their names in front of me. Catherine is another good one. Kathleen and Catherine are both great. So that is a video that they made for, and we're going to make another wave of those. The first wave was my understanding that this is a discovery major and an industry that you just find on the path kind of thing. And we're like, why are we not promoting this more to high schoolers that are working for you during the summers? You've got the perfect opportunity to plant that seed. You're a leader and capable of speaking to these people, and you hire them during the summer. Let's come up with a little promo that you can press play. So that's our first wave. We're going to do a second wave that's even better. It's more in depth. Let's give another shot at it. Get a lot more input from people of what it is, and then maybe even get some college professors and some kids themselves that are enrolled in these programs at university level to come and give testimonies and speak about it. So, also Pennsylvania did another version of this. Theirs is amazing. Like, they have personal testimony stuff. So great job. I need to reach out to those people and see if I can post it on my YouTube channel or the YouTube channel, the Daily Parks and Rec Show, just to kind of promote it and get the word out. So, but if you can find it, it's really good. I'll see if I can get us permission for us to help get the word out on that one. And then lastly, I will play Chris's little LED light promotional thing. Great job, Chris, on this. All right. That'll be my sign off. So I'll make that an outro. Yeah. Okay. That'll be my outro. All right. I will see y'all in Texas. I'll be there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday morning. So if you're there, I'm meeting with City of Dallas, some old friends of mine. So I have lunch with them, but then I'll be there at the show just interviewing people. If you see my lighting set up with TV displays and an empty chair next to me, come sit down. Tell me what's going on in Parks and Rec, and let's kind of get the word out for Traps, because they are a mega. Of course, anything Texas does is going to be big, but the Traps is a phenomenal organization. It's their state association. This is their annual event going on right now, like today. I should be there today, but I just could not pull it off. So I'm heading there. If you have not attended your state organization yet, you should. And you need to consider coming to Orlando at NRPA and attend those big ones, because you just get a wealth of knowledge. And you get, oh wait, hold on. I got to tell you what Matt said about this. I'm trying to get off this show here, but I just can't. It's just too good. All right, here we go. Patience. He was saying something about, oh, okay. All Parks and Rec directors have to give a reason to spend $1,000 or $5,000 to their city manager. Why do I need to attend this annual convention? It looks like a big vacation. I'm paying for you and a few staff members to just go party it up in Orlando or in Dallas. Like, what? Don't we have anything more important to spend our money on? And for you to be able to go, first thing you got to do, a lot of them will require you to give me a one-pager. Pitch me on why we need to spend this $5,000 for you and a couple of your staff and your program and your super. Why should we be paying for this? This is we got other things to pay for. And so instead of saying, well, I learn a lot, I network a lot, wrong answer. What? Hold on. Where did he say it? Sorry, I'm reading off my notes here. The value. Oh, it's bolded right in front of me. How did you apply your learning from attending a state association annual event? How did you apply your learning? Which means the last one you attended or anyone you ever attended, let me tell you what's functioning inside our park system. And I attribute that knowledge from meeting this person that lives in another city that was doing the exact same thing, already finished it. He handed me the blueprint to the walking trail, and I took that blueprint, and it looks a lot like our walking trail, doesn't it? this is this is what you get. Tell them what you've done with the knowledge. Show them what you've done. Say, come over here. Let me show you all the stuff that we implemented from going to these events from my past, my other cities, stuff like that, what we implemented last year. It's not just you're investing in my brain. So great, your park and rec director got a little smarter and got a little more understanding. Show them some concrete things that you implemented based off of what you took away from attending these events. Now they can see concretely the benefit of not having to do that whole master plan by themselves from zero. You actually have a master plan of a city that's very similar to y'all. You have a strategy for building this playground. You made these connections very quickly, didn't have to reinvent the wheel on your own, and boom, that's a part of the splash pad that we have. And that's a part of the walking trail that we had. And the master plan that we uh, adjusted and critiqued, but was mostly the bones were there. We just kind of put our version of it on there. That came from the city that I met at this annual event. And so tell them what it's done for you and what you've implemented, the concrete things that you've done and taken away. Not, well, we go there to learn in the CEUs and we get connected and build a sense of community and then we party it up. Well, don't tell them that part. But that's a way to frame it. And I think everybody's going to benefit from that. And some of these things me and Matt are going to talk about when he comes on the show. But anyway, wanted to share that with you, throw that out there as, because I know we always encourage you, go to your state event. But what does that mean for you? Okay, that means I got to go walk in my city manager's office and say, hey, can I have an extra $5,000 so me and my superintendent and my assistant director can go attend this 3 or 4 day event at this resort on the beach? And he's like, resort on the beach? Look, I'm not paying for you to go on vacation. Take your own vacation within your own time with your own cash. And it's like, so no, you're going to have to frame it as what did you implement? What was the benefit to the city? Okay, that's how you have to frame it. And we're going to work on framing that question and maybe give you something a little more compelling that you can take to your city manager and say, there you go, buddy. That's what we did. And they'll be like, absolutely. Can I come? Like, no, it's only for park people. No, it's not. I think I've met some city managers and some mayors there. I met a mayor of a small town in Alabama. He actually came on the show. So bring your mayor, bring your city manager. How about that? Bring them and say, why don't you come with us? It's especially if it's close by, if it's just a drive and they don't have to spend the night, just come spend the day with us. So you can see what it's about, see what we learned so that you can see the takeaways and where it's coming from. I think that would be good to have city managers and mayors at these annual events. And I see them there. I do see them there. And I think they understand why they need to have their park people here at these annual events because they see the benefit and they see what's being implemented based off of these events and what they're taking away from them. What are the takeaways that are implemented? What are the takeaways that are implemented? The operative word is implement. What have you brought back to our city? I went out, I got something, I brought it back. Boom, here's 10 examples across the city. And where did you get that from? It's like, I went shopping. Where'd you go? I went to the grocery store. Oh, so all this came from the grocery store. Okay, that's where you get stuff. So where you get these plans and ideas, where did you get these from? Oh, on my annual convention. It's where I go get things and then implement them here. Unless you want me just figuring things out from ground zero and hope for the best, why not get some tested, proven things that works? We can even go visit the complex over there and saying, yeah, that's what we want. And then you just go to your architects and your people and your mayor and you say, build that. Like, what do you mean build it? Let's go drive an hour across your little state to another city that's built it, tour it, saying, bring your, what do they call them? Your, Oh, just the people that are involved in a project. Stakeholders. Bring your stakeholders, take a little bus or a carpool, and you'll go visit the playground, visit the splash pad, visit the sports arena, visit the sports complex, visit the farmers market, and say, yeah, we want that in our city. Okay. And you meet these kind of people and these kind of things, things that you want to implement and bring back to your city at the state conventions. So attend your state conventions, attend the national and regional conventions. You'll get a lot out of them, and be ready to take, like, I have that purpose. I am going here to learn about farmers markets. I'm going here to learn about social media, and there'll be breakout classes around that. And then people that are taking the same class, network left and right. And then you got your game plan. You go back with a plan. You go back with an example of what can be done. Okay, I'm going on way too long here. All right, so I'm gonna let y'all go. Craig LeBlanc with the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Please support us in the 3 ways I mentioned. Help me get this thing cranked up and going so we can get more artists working and creating for us. I will see y'all tomorrow and the next day in Texas. We'll be airing from there. And we have, last thing I'll say, upcoming Travis Barbie tomorrow, John Jimenez on Thursday, and Nick from Watsonville, California on Friday. Hopefully I can catch Christine Stratton, the NRPA president. We had an awesome conversation in Mississippi. Thank you, Mississippi, for hosting me. Texas, please don't kick me out. I'm coming. I might have to air from the street. I did not get permission to come, but I never asked permission for anything. That's just my nature. So hopefully they will accept me as I am. Either way, I'll be doing some type of programming or some type of event live from Trap. So love you guys. Thank you so much. Having a blast over here. I will see y'all again tomorrow. Again, this is Craig LeBlanc, the doorman with the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Have an awesome, awesome week. Bye.
When you invest in our high-performance LED sports arena lights, you're not just upgrading your facilities, you're helping us illuminate the untold stories of parks and recreation communities. Every purchase directly supports the Daily Parks and Rec Show, a media platform on a mission to celebrate the heart and soul of our local parks and programs. From after-school activities to summer leagues, these spaces shape lives, and their stories deserve to be told. Why your support matters. Capturing community impact. Your contribution helps us assemble a talented team of digital artists, storytellers, and filmmakers to create compelling videos, articles, and short films that spotlight how Parks and Rec programs change lives. Sharing untold stories. From a child's first home run to lifelong friendships forged on the court, we'll document these priceless moments and share them with the world. Inspiring the next generation. By highlighting the joy, inclusivity, and opportunities found in our parks, we foster a deeper appreciation for these vital community spaces. Light up arenas, brighten futures. Your choice to install LED sports arena lights isn't just a smart investment in energy efficiency and performance, it's an investment in stories that deserve to be told. Be part of the story. Take action today. Purchase LED sports arena lights and help us shine a spotlight on the heartwarming stories that define our parks and communities. Contact us now to learn more about our products and how your support fuels the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Together, we'll shine a light on the moments that matter most.